Admiral's Log. In the relentless game of power and warfare, victory over one adversary often signals the emergence of another. Our grueling conflict with France has finally ended in triumph, the resistance broken and terms of surrender firmly in our favor. The Japanese, too, have seen the futility of their efforts, requesting a peace treaty that acknowledges our dominance and secures our hold on Okinawa. Yet even as these battles conclude, the storm clouds gather once more on the horizon. The United States, ever watchful and now emboldened, has declared war on Spain, thrusting us into yet another formidable conflict. The timing of this new declaration is no coincidence. The Americans have seized upon the moment, seeking to exploit what they perceive as our weakened state after prolonged engagements on multiple fronts. But they underestimate our resolve. Our victories over France and Japan have not only fortified our strategic positions, but also steeled our navy and unified our command. We now turn our full attention to this new challenge, ready to confront the US with the same determination that has carried us through every trial thus far. Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to episode 11. We may have wrapped up the war with the Japanese, but we're still in peace negotiations with them. Immediately after that fight, we're now in a large encounter with a Russian fleet. The Russians, I'm not even sure what I did to offend them. They're fighting me, and they're fighting probably half the world, because that's what the Russians do. Their battleship is the Admiral Dreadnoughts, 6 12.5-inch guns, which is, well, fairly similar to mine. It's just that I have 3 battleships. My battleships are now only doing 21 knots, which is already, I think, slightly faster than they were. This thing's only doing 15 knots. It's escorted by a couple of light cruisers with some really small guns, and they're doing 25 knots. They're DDs, packing 3 times 2 torpedo tubes. That is fairly dangerous, so I might have to keep these battleships on their toes, keep them dodging everything. The destroyers are around and available to engage the enemy destroyers, ideally from afar. So here goes. Let's see if the Russians have what it takes. I'm going to have my destroyers all in one division. Nothing of that change nonsense. Loose formation is fine, but no torpedoes are to be spent. Are these the upgraded ships yet? No. I think none of them have been upgraded yet. My fleet is so busy that I generally don't even give them time to upgrade. Torpedo range, 9.4. Ideally, that'll keep me well away from those enemy battleship guns, especially their secondaries. What exactly their capabilities are, I can only kind of guess. I know that they have those 12.5s, so they might slightly outrange me. We'll just have to see what exactly they sport rangefinder-wise, crew-wise, and whether or not these have armor. So far, we've seen that the enemy battleships just don't have a lot of armor. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if this is something that the AI does, or, well, not does. Whether it's a vanilla issue or a mod issue, I'm not sure. It's just something I see a lot lately. Might be part of version 1.5.1.6. Maybe that's the culprit. They're starting us off at about 17 clicks. I can shoot at 12. Oh, isn't that cute? 12-inch, yes, only Mark II. I have pretty much deprioritized all large ship development. I'm not building out my shipyards because it doesn't fit my doctrine. I'm not expecting to change my doctrine. So most of my funding has gone into getting better destroyer engines, or well, better engines at large. Better torpedo ranges, multiple torpedo launchers, as well as better guns of the small caliber. Mark 5, or sorry, the 5-inch. I think I'm at Mark 3 or 4 for the 3-inchers now, so we're getting somewhere. But it is taking a little bit of time. Hello, DDs. Hello, DDs. Aw, did you waste your smoke? No, it's the light cruisers. It's the light cruisers that are coming into play. Yeah. Flooding. It's not even their DDs? Alright. Focus fire. What you got? Oh well. Paper armor. With our HE, we might be able to go right through that. And they are slightly angled, so yeah, let's go HE. Secondaries on the DDs. And my DDs, believe it or not, are punishing and eliminating their light cruiser fleet. Those are the ones that are supposed to keep my light cruiser, my DDs away from the fight. But that's not what they're doing. Good damage. Push on this. That thing's getting a little too close for my comfort. Yep, there's the damage, but their torpedoes might already be on the way. Prep torpedo avoidance maneuvers. Senyavin is definitely having a very rough time. Yep, there's the torps. Oh, this is going to be a problem. I cannot dodge that well, I think. You're using your main guns against a destroyer? It's a bit aggressive. Come on, ditch your speed. Maybe these Russians have bad torpedo launchers. Maybe they're not capable of inflicting live hits. Maybe they're just duds. I don't know. Please be a dud. Ooh. No, not a dud. That's 2 hits. 1 dud, 1 live one. HE. Cutting through the battleship. Secondaries working on the Voron. You're going to turn that way. My DDs have definitely disengaged way too far. These aren't that expensive. They're not that expensive, no. They're only 4 million a pop. Okay. Well, pop they'll go. These things are not going to make it through the battle. Neither is this DD. Neither is their battleship. The French, the Japanese, the British, they all have pretty decent battleships now. The Russians, they did decide to send this old thing my way. And it's seemingly not doing them any favors. Price-wise, mine are even more expensive. And that's saying something, because I have some really old stuff sitting on these battleships. So, yeah. This thing? Like, steam multiple expansion engine, steam steering, compound armor. They're not even at Krupp yet. I think the Russian campaign is very difficult to play. So I kind of feel for how badly the Russians are doing here. Oh, wow. You're getting outgunned by a DD, dude. You can't shoot that far. I can. And I am. What's your armor like? Oh, right. Okay. Kind of funny. At all battleships, maintain pressure on their battleship. It might not look like much, but it still has 12.7-inch guns. Beverly Mark 1? Okay. Kill it. No, you missed it. Try again. There's the DD. Put the 6 inchers on this as well. That DD's not a threat. It can't get here. Not very well, anyway. Oh, we're now actually getting a little too close to the light cruiser here. 9 million. These DDs are more expensive than that. I think it might be the Russian museum fleet here that we're facing. Is that thing actually going to sink? Or do we need to give it just a few more hits? Yeah, you guys should be able to handle that. Battleship is almost down. There's the flooding. Next is that light cruiser, and then there's the battleship. Again, I don't recall why I'm fighting the Russians. I just happen to be. I have absolutely no business being in Asia. Whatsoever. So, I'm hoping to conclude the war with not only the Russians, but also the Japanese very quickly. Because I believe that the French or the British are already gearing up for more wars. So, I need all of these ships back. I don't need them partying out in the Sea of Japan. Or fighting the Russians near whatever the Siberian waters are. I need them back home. My navy is designed to be operating around the Spanish coastal waters. It's not designed for large expeditionary operations, which are very, very, very far away from home. I think one of their ships ran off. Considering the fate of the rest of them, they'll probably come back to port, get shot, and die. Oh, it's 2 light cruisers even. Anyway, that's 10k. Victory point-wise, it would be nice if it was possible to get a bit more from the Russians, because that way I can farm more money from them. Then again, farming money from a Russian economy is optimistic. And maybe overly so. Let's see. Yeah, we're able to salvage some of the crew, that's good. Economics-wise, I'm not doing very well. I'm still minus 76 million. The naval funding is only 450. I was building some ships for other navies. And some of those are coming out in 3 months, 5 months, 14 months, 15 months. So it's definitely happening, but it's taking a while. It's definitely not helped by the fact that I'm massively over my capacity, because a lot of my DDs and some cruisers and battleships came back with scratches on their hulls and need repairs. These ambushes, what do we have? Right. I don't want to fight that. I'm going to tell these destroyers to run off, because these can't catch them. So that should be 1 battle less to worry about. It seems that the Japanese have not quite learned their lesson. The result is that we have ambushes against our battleships. I already fended off one. Got a bit closer than I wanted, so that does make these things quite interesting to watch. I have the Dalob, and what I tend to do with these ships is just stay back, at least a little bit. I'm going to push my destroyer back. Reason being, it's too fragile. And the battleship can perfectly handle anything that these guys throw out. I have secondaries in the form of 6-inch, I have 3-inch guns, and I have my main 12s. That is enough. I tend to let them just close in a bit. Let them close in and let them make a mistake. All the while, I tend to be maneuvering, dancing around. So I'm going to put, let's say, 10 degrees left rudder, which already makes me a somewhat unpredictable target. And then, if you start jockeying speed, making sure that, well, you're not... Wow, that torpedo did an about face. That you're not going to be where the torpedo expects you to go, you should be capable of dodging most, if not all of these. And there we go. So at this point, these guys probably launched. That means we're going to turn hard the other way and increase the flank speed. I don't want to be where they think I'm going to be. This destroyer apparently already launched, almost hit his friendlies. He launched. Oh, I course corrected the wrong way. That's one set, that's another set from one of these. That's not the priority, this is the priority. This one launched a while ago, this one already launched, and there is the set from the last one. At this point, some of those guys are completely out of torpedoes. And yes, I see that one coming, but I should be fine. They're completely out of torpedoes. Some of them, however, have reloads. It depends on which class you happen to face. In this case, the Japanese have 2 different ship classes, and I'm facing, I think, the more modern ones, which do get a reload. So until they're actually dealt with, I have to be a little careful, because they can still reload. And with a dual launcher, that tends to go a lot faster than you might like. So they gotta be sunk quickly. The first one who's going to be ready is this one, Satsuki. The other ones probably won't be around to reload at all. And if you just let your battleship pick which target it wants, as I'm doing right now, I'm not selecting a target, it tends to engage targets on multiple sides, because it has guns on multiple sides. And that means we're engaging a destroyer here, we're engaging a destroyer there, and all these 6ers and all those 3s are getting quite a bit of work done. Much to the chagrin, I bet, of the Japanese, who are having a really rough time. They can't pen me, they can't exactly flood me, they cannot really do any damage to the superstructure, because that is what the ship is protected against. The ship is designed to, let's say, be a bit of a punching bag, not strictly for DDs, But I do have superstructure armor. And that means these guys with their puny 4-inch guns, well, they might set a fire. They've caused the loss of 6 sailors. And that is it. They've done 0% structural integrity damage so far. In case you're wondering, what are you going to do about the runaway? Let him run away. I don't care for him. He's not going to be able to do much. There you go. Destroy the torpedo launcher. That's another 11 million that's about to end up on the seabed of the Sea of Japan. So, considering that was what, 3 DDs have sunk, maybe 4? And then another 5 in another battle? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Oh, there he is! He's volunteering to finish the job. Fair enough. See, this one can still torp me. This one can still torp me, and probably will. Well, not if you do that. Wasn't expecting the 12 inches to intervene. Quite like that. Turn away. Kill it quickly. Yeah, it launched. Increase speed to flank. Oh, we killed it. Maybe the battle's going to time out just before we get hit. Click away, click away, click away, click away, click away, click away. Whoa, that probably... that probably would have hit me if I had not clicked away. Because, maybe you don't know this, but the game keeps running after you click end battle. If the transitions to the end battle screen. It's a bit weird. It just keeps going. So those torpedoes, yeah, they're still live torps. Light damage to my battleship, but the Japanese gave me 5,000 victory points. So I'm now at 51k versus their 9. They didn't quite get a peace yet, so I definitely want to order one myself. And unfortunately, that's the only, let's say, social influencing action that I can do. Meaning, I can't actually do anything about the Russians. Not yet. I'm also, again, at war with the US. This time around, they don't have any territory, so I don't want a war with the US. There's nothing I can really gain in a war from the US. Except money. Except money. So it's possible that the US is just going to operate their warships and send them to me. If they do that in one of those big cruiser divisions, though, I'm going to have a bit of a problem because I can't tackle that. Not with the threat that I currently have to pose over here in the Sea of Japan, with most of my battleships all currently going repairs or refits or both. What I can start doing is start sending ships back. It's going to be a bit of a trek, but, well, we have to start sometime, so let's get out of here. I don't need to fight Japan anymore. I've already gotten my victory points against them and the Russians. All that remains is to make peace. Player 4 is about to enter the game. The German Empire. I don't want to fight them. I really don't. I'm also not going to give up 58 million just to get a 10% boost, so fine. If they want to fight, fight. Let's see how that's going to affect the situation in the Mediterranean, because it's probably not going to be good. The Germans did fight a lot of different wars in the past, notably against the British and the French, which they're apparently now soulmates with. Yet they have an active fleet of 95 ships. 36 DDs, 2 torpedo boats, and a bunch of light cruisers. Yeah. This is wildly uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. We once again got a bit of an ambushing going on here. I tend to just auto-resolve those because I tend to win. Why are you guys still here? You're supposed to be gone. Fine. If the Russians... Yeah, this time it's the Russians. If the Russians want to fight yet again, we will send them to the bottom yet again. With my supposedly very far behind warships. The plan is mostly the same. Slow down, let these guys close in, bring your secondaries to bear, and go ham. Just let loose on the enemy with everything you have. A nice side effect, if you will, of just getting these destroyers fed to you piecemeal, as opposed to in one big formation of, I don't know, 20 ships, is that my crews are now veterans. Their guns might not be that good, but the crews are very good. So these destroyers don't really have a whole lot of opportunity to get close. That's one. They're also not very expensive. The Japanese ones at least are, what was it? 11.4 million, I think? These Russian ones are just 4 million. So they're not that expensive. Which might make these battles a bit of a waste of time. Because you're not really getting a whole lot out of it. They can't torp? What's your torpedo range anyway? 1.5? Did you put short-range torps on that? Yeah, they must have fast torps. That's the only thing I can explain this away with. Fast torps and potentially completely unupgraded destroyers. Boom. Come on, more boom. 6.3. Torpedoes. Yeah, fast torpedoes. 17 inch only. Wow. I have 21 inches at this point. Those 21 inches hit pretty hard. And the bigger the torpedo, the more fuel they can carry. So they also get better range. Which is very nice, because those battleship guns are also getting more deadly. Peace. Finally. That's one fewer player to worry about. Oh, and now the Germans are also fighting the Austro-Hungarians. Fine. I don't care for any of their territories, and I just want their money, so it's going to be that straightforward. I could take a battleship or a battlecruiser, because I'm kind of lacking my own. But I wasn't particularly impressed with the Japanese ships. So I'm just going to take their money and be done with it. And that is very good timing, because I was about to run dry. I now have 804 million. Oh. Fine. It's like they all smell blood on the water. So once again, it's the British that joined the fight. Fine. It's going to be the... it's the dangerous Danes. It's the... They're Akagi, a.k.a. Yamato. And La Divina Pastora, Sentinel-class battlecruiser. I built that one. I built that one. That's probably the base version of it, which makes it slightly less effective. Also, a couple of Naishi-class heavy cruisers that they apparently ordered from the Japanese. Oh, a Hooded Horse-class cruiser. That's one of mine. And the Viva, which is a 1917 version of the James Fishburnes. We're fighting a German battleship, a German battleship, a German battlecruiser, a light, and a DD or two. If, again, the AI has forsaken all of their armor in favor of their firepower, which they might have, then these are going to be easy pickings. They also have a fairly weird amount of guns, like one double 13.6 and then two double 10-inchers. I'm expecting a Dreadnought with wing turrets. As for that battlecruiser, yeah, that's something else. That's probably a bit more modern and might present a bigger threat. This is the Viva. It's a new destroyer, and it has the upgraded 10.6 kilometer range 21-inch torpedoes. 4 of them. It's also sporting a new geared turbines engine. And with that, I was able to crank up the speed a little bit, going now 33 knots. These things are getting zippy. And fast is good, because fast means survivability most of the time. What? Okay. Yeah, no, that's that's a new one. Yeah, we're actually missing a turret there, Germany. The fuck? This battlecruiser's a bit more serious, though. No, this is the other battleship. 2 dual-barrel 10-inchers and 1 dual-barrel 13.6er on the bow. Is what I'm expecting there. Weird designs. I wonder about the balancing issues on these. This ship has to be port heavy. The port side has to be heavier than the starboard side, because it's just, you know, missing a turret. The fuck is Germany up to? Either they know something I don't, or they're building some really weird ships. I wonder how dangerous those things actually are. Because if this is the quality of German shipbuilding, then I'm actually surprised that they've won the war. At least the one against the British. Hold on there, sir. Yeah, we're gonna prep a torpedo attack from, let's say, that area. Off. What sorcery is this? I don't know if Yamato is going to survive this fight. Because it does have that good main belt, but the rest is fragile and the armor quality is 2%. Divina Pastoria... Pastora is a battle cruiser that I built. It's a Sentinel, and it's a bit of a weird one. Because I got the blueprints, sort of, from the Americans. The game is being really weird about it. I got one battlecruiser from the Americans, and that was a Sentinel class. And with that apparently came the blueprints, so I can build them. But it's not my version. It's theirs. So it has the Mark I guns. It has the many bulkheads as opposed to maximum. It has the weird armor scheme. It has the relatively older guns. She's just a bit of a weird ship overall. But compared to Germany, she's really quite normal. So don't judge her. Now, firepower-wise, these guys have 10-inch, 6-inch. 6-inchers have better range than the 10s. That's a bit scary. If these want to waste their firepower and their time on my destroyer, they're welcome to have a go. Maybe I can do some damage with my guns. Well, not those 11.7s. Not yet, anyway. It also might give me some time to identify the ship. Oh, they lost sight of the Viva. What? Right through the forebelt with a partial pen. That's progress. I like it. Keep that up. More where that came from. More where that came from. The battlecruiser's also taking a certain interest in my destroyer. If they sink this, that's 15 million. It's no longer 11, it's 15 million, thanks to that better engine and higher top speed. As well as those modernized torpedo tubes. So the Viva is playing a fairly dangerous game here. Of baiting the enemy shots. So far, she seems to be doing a pretty good job at it without getting hit. You could construe that as luck. Ooh, that was a big one. Right through the main tower. Well, well, well. It has armor. 13-inch main, 7.3 aft. Main deck, even some armor. Superstructure, not as much. Forebelt, 1.6. So if you're going bow in with this thing that has most firepower on the back... No, it's that weird thing. What's your offset? You don't see the offset. Yeah, you see the longitudinal weight offset. So the offset, let's say, in the axis along the line of the ship. And the transverse plane. Which is... No. How are you only getting a 0.9 transverse offset? That's weird. That's weird. How'd they balance this thing out? Unless the game thinks that there might be another 10-inch gun right next to it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, we've done some damage against them. More. They're also using crammed crew quarters. They got a trained crew. Yamato has regular, but Divina Pastora only has cadets. But those are really accurate cadets. A 25% chance to hit. That's surprisingly good. Why am I getting such a bonus? Oh, they found the range. Okay. Well, that works for me. What happens if I fire armor-piercing blast with this? Is that just going to ricochet off? I'm going to see about that. What is that going to do? They're already falling back. So they're now going to be facing a very, very angled ship. Angle, angle, bounce, bounce. Yeah, that was to be expected. And over here is the worth. 127 mils, that's the same? Yeah. I can torpedo that, but this destroyer will most likely spot that. CAs? Not in range yet. They can't join the fight. It's gonna have to come down to the battlecruiser for now. Ooh. Destroyed a secondary gun there. Focus on this. Hold on, did you hit me? Oh yeah, you hit me, alright. Smoke, torp, execute, run. Pretty much in that order. Torps away. Ooh, Viva's not going to survive that one. I don't think. CAs. Engage this threat. I think this destroyer has to have spotted those torps. They're not that sneaky. I really don't know if I'm going to win this fight. Oh, there's the battle cruiser. Durflinger. Many bulkheads, cramped crew quarters, no armor. Like 4 inches. They lost sight of the Viva? Oh, because she's in the smoke screen, that's why. Okay. Well, maybe we can have these torpedoes meet up with this battleship, that'd be great. As for the heavies, I know that some of these are my own ships, but they're old. They never received a refit. So you're going to be looking at a base version of the Hooded Horse class. And that's going to show. This is one of the other cruisers. 7.8 inch guns, and a bunch of 6 and 3... 4.3 2-inch guns. You just torped against Alba. Okay, Alba. That is your cue to not get your rudder damaged. Lovely. Okay, fine. Some of you have torpedoes, yes? Oh, we hit him! Yep, we hit him. Bunch of damage there, and crew loss as well. They're doing 21 knots. These ships are not doing that. I cannot catch up with that DD. I cannot catch up with the battleship. I'm gonna have to wait out with the torpedoes. Because they probably don't have the range either. 1.5. Yeah, we're not anywhere near the range that I need. This ship is flooding faster than expected. Yes! Get that HE right in there. If that hits their bow, they're in trouble. Good work. Good work. Alba is still struggling with her buoyancy. 23 million for a CA. These are 12. Yeah, this is a tough fight. Now, it's only 5k, but against a heavy cruiser of this type, that can be deadly. Battleships. Can you lend a secondary? No, never mind. Finish off that ship. Heavies. Need you guys to finish this thing off. What did you torp? Maria 1. This one? So those torps, by my count, are gonna probably be here any second. And I don't have any rangefinder. Oh, sorry, I don't have any hydrophones. I'll just have to look for bubbles in the water. That's pretty much the extent of my torpedo detection on those ships. Overpen. Come on now. There's the weakened 45. Both of you fire high explosive at that battleship. Yeah, they're 56% buoyancy. You should be able to use all of your guns. This DD is living... living a very dangerous playstyle. And smoking up, and we're still not hitting it. Coincidence 1 range finding, yeah. Maria. Back with the div. Alba's in a really bad state. I'm going to try and disengage with that, but it can't go anywhere. 4 knots. No, she's stuck. Ooh. That's some decent damage. I'm surprised she's not dead. This battleship continues to push? Wait. You were supposed to send secondary shells against the DD, not your primaries. Primaries are going to go onto the battleship right there, the big guy, which is worth 127 million. That's your target. Ah, destroy the torpedo launcher. Fine, we can now start focusing on the V-45. That sounded a lot worse than it was. Blocked. I'm hoping for a crew loss. I'm not really think I'm going to get one. Oh, that heavy cruiser's toast. Come on. That's really good. What was that? Main tower pen. With high explosive. More where that came from. My cruisers are suffering at the hands of probably the battle cruisers and the 6-inch guns from these ships. They're just not capable of putting up with a level of resist or level of violence like that. So I'll probably lose this cruiser. It's 27 million. Increase speed to flank. Don't worry about any stragglers. Yamato sunk. And the Worth sunk. 43 million for the Yamato, but this is 127. Very good. Do I target the battleship or do I target the battle cruiser? Battle cruiser's like a joke for armor. 218 million? Jeez. Jeez, Louise. Okay, we're going to target that one. Now, I was running at like 15 knots to keep up with the battleship, but I'm kind of freed from the battleship. And my battlecruiser is also far more expensive. Come on, get a couple hits in. Not yet. Not yet. My heavies are gonna not win this. Putting it mildly. Come on, send it. Hoping for a secondary hit on that light cruiser, but we're not seeing anything. There's your target right there, the Durflinger. Make sure it doesn't fling anything else, yeah? Ah, flooding. At least I can kind of keep away from this battleship if I want to. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! That's the damage. I would love to take terrain from Germany in this war, but the problem is I don't have any firepower for an invasion. My fleet is not home, so the biggest tonnage that I have is combining, yeah, I don't know, a light cruiser with a couple of DDs. That's mostly the extent of my firepower right now, and it's not enough. You're really racking up the damage. That's what you get, Germany, for not bringing your armor. Consider yourself warned. Keep turning with this ship. There you go. That's another 4K. 67% structural, 10% crew loss. The crew is dying as we speak. Keep zigzagging. Turn to starboard. Bring more guns to bear. Oh, CAs are still there. You guys didn't have any torps left, right? No. So the worst you can do is shoot me with a 5.2. I should be able to survive that. My biggest concern is that 1 or 2 shells are going to wreck the speed of the battlecruiser. And then I'm in very, very serious danger. Oh, we're using a 10-incher on the bow. We got smoked up. Okay, fine. Going to be outside of that smoke fairly soon, though. Let's see if I can get some damage and stability on that battleship. Just hit him up with the 15-inchers a bit. Any structural integrity damage that they take is going to add to that damage and stability. And they're currently sitting on 17%. Needs to be more. Yeah, like that. Or you just wreck their main tower. Damage and stability, 50%. These Sentinels are remarkably good. Especially considering the fact that they're only using cadets. Like, how a cadet-level crew is capable of leveling a German battleship and then really putting the screws on a battlecruiser and a battleship. I am very surprised at the performance of this battlecruiser. I'd say she should not be able to do what she's doing. But I am not unhappy about her performance in the slightest. Up until the point where my HE started getting blocked. Now I'm starting to suffer with my accuracy a bit because of my own damage and stability. Yep, there's another flooding hit. I think I might have sailed a little too close to them there. I think the main belt and maybe the aft belt is doing all the lifting. Armor-wise. Okay, steady out. Build that accuracy back up. If we can sink the battle cruiser and the battleship, maybe Germany's going to instantly reconsider their life choices and go to peace. That's my hope. That they don't want to fight anymore. Because I don't really have the staying power. Especially if I'm also expected to fight the British. And the French too. Like, at this point, I'm not even sure who I'm at war with anymore. But it seems to be most of Europe and Germany. Well, Russia. Come on. Blocked it. They're only using one dual barrel 10-incher, so their damage output is severely limited. Unfortunately, I don't think I can actually get through that turret. Ooh, that really hurt. Right through the main belt with a 15-inch from the battlecruiser. Ow. No, 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 no. You're not sinking. No, 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 no. I can only do 10 knots now. I can try limping away with whatever speed I have remaining. Come on. Dish it out. That damn thing really hit me quite hard. That was blocked. Lucky. Partial. Arguably, I should have focused on just killing off one ship entirely. But I tend to spread out my damage a bit to make sure that the target is less of a threat due to its damage and stability. Maybe that was the wrong choice this time around. Let's see, both of those ships are flooded. My ship can do about 10 knots. How fast are you? Whoops, I hit a secondary. 13. 14-9. I think, considering that I sunk a battleship, it might be good to try and disengage. I'm just going to keep coasting up that 21 knot speed as long as I can and try and disengage. Oh, that's not very helpful. That is not very helpful. We're still flooding. We're still coasting. Yes, end the battle! You get where I'm going. There we go. Well, just about even. Just about even. It's okay. It's okay. I don't think this is going to push Germany exactly into a peace treaty. But it is a kill on a battleship. And I think that's worth it. With that fight, we've come to the end of the episode. I have a decent amount of money available. I'm at war with the British, I'm at war with the Americans and the Russians. Hopefully I can finish off my business with the Russians. I'm not sure if they will see that my way, but I'm going to try and do it anyway. Because they seem to be at war with absolutely everybody. My economy is about 40 billion right now, which is, yeah, still the smallest. Substantially, that is. And of course, the less money you have, the more you're going to fall behind, because you simply cannot invest that much in tech. What I am hoping to get is continuously better torpedoes. So more torpedo tubes, better torpedo tubes, Mark III torpedo tubes. Just the availability of high-end damage dealing is, I think, what my DDs need right now. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you soon for more.